here's a story from The World.
Chernobyl may be running out of electricity. The site of the tragic 1986 nuclear accident needs power to keep operations safe. Russia says the plant has been connected to the power grid of neighboring Belarus. On Wednesday, Ukrainian officials said generators could only keep running for 48 more hours. Well, it's been 48 hours. My next guest, Seth Grae, says the threat is being overstated. He's a member of the Nuclear Security Working Group based in Washington. So why do you say the security risk at Chernobyl is overstated?
I don't think it's overstated to say that it's outrageous that a military would deliberately target any kind of nuclear site. I know that the head of the International Atomic Energy Agency has met with Russian officials to try to get their commitment not to attack any nuclear sites and does not yet firmly have that commitment, which I guess is consistent with Russia not recognizing publicly that it's actually invaded Ukraine at all. I do think that the fuel from the reactors on this site are very cool at this point. They've been in the pools for over 20 years cooling. They've gone through most of what's called the decay process. They really do not pose a danger to the public.
Then what do Ukrainian officials mean when they say the generators could only keep running for 48 more hours and those 48 hours are over?
We would only need the generators if the connection to the power grid is not maintained, and apparently that is back. I do not believe the Russian reports that Belarus has supplied electricity to the site over an old transmission line from Belarus. That's Russian propaganda. When they've caused the problem, I don't think they're solving it. Now, if there is a complete loss of power to the site from the electric grid that's not repaired, and if the diesel generators do kick in with 48 hours of fuel, and if there's no new delivery of fuel to them, they could run out of fuel in 48 hours. There are still other measures taken on the site to keep it safe. The water in these pools, I believe, could last at least a couple of months with no supporting systems at all. And even if that water were lost, the fuel is so cool that it could be cooled by air. Now, that's far from an ideal situation.
Now, I just want to be clear here. What safety measures should be in place at Chernobyl?
Well, the site was never designed to withstand an attack by Russia's army, and I don't think safety measures need to be put in to withstand attacks by Russia's army at civilian sites. The sites are designed to withstand loss of power. There are very robust structures, including what's called the sarcophagus, the concrete that covers the core of the reactor that had the accident there, and a steel archway structure over that. Now, these structures are mostly designed to keep things in. They do offer some protection from anything that reasonably could hit them from the outside. But again, a sustained attack by a modern military with modern weapons could breach that.
You know, you mentioned it was unrealistic to have nuclear plants built to sustain war, but that's kind of what we're seeing. Is that, factored into future plans? I mean, this just happened last week with Russia attacking another nuclear plant.
Yes, we will have lessons learned from this, like we did from Chernobyl, like we did from Fukushima, that will further strengthen safety and security on these sites. But I think the improvements made are showing in this case just how robust these facilities can be. And in many ways, I feel the most dangerous or worst case scenario for people in Ukraine would just be for the operators to decide to shut down all the reactors, which provide over half the electricity to Ukraine. And in what is still wintertime there, a lot of people would be very cold. It would hurt their food supply, hurt throughout the society, healthcare, hospital operations to lose power. So I do think it's heroic how people have maintained operations through these very trying times.
Seth Grae is a member of the Nuclear Security Working Group based in Washington. He's also CEO of the Lightbridge Corporation, a company that develops nuclear fuel technology. Seth, thanks for speaking with us.
Thank you very much, Carol.